guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex from Alex's Innovations. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a beginning loop with an odd number of threads. I'd recommend that you check out my beginning loop video. I made one a while ago and the link is in the description and also in the card above. I'm going to be narrating this video assuming that you guys have made a beginning loop before with an even number of strings, and so I highly recommend that you check that video out if you're new to making friendship bracelets or if you've never made a beginning loop before. So today I'm going to be using pattern 1637 from friendshipbracelets.net. It's a very common pattern that I'm sure you've seen before. I have a custom listing for it on Etsy, so in case if you aren't able to make it or you just really want a nicer version of it, if it didn't come out the way you wanted, you can definitely purchase it from me. I will make any color you want. It's a custom listing. There's something like 29 color options available. So anyway, I've received a lot of orders to make this in dark blue, so I'm going to be showing you guys with dark blue, which is also convenient because the pattern has a dark blue in it. My listing has dark blue and white, so instead of the yellow in this pattern, I'll just be using white. Right now I'm winding my thread because I have no blue thread, so I have to wind my thread. Just a disclaimer, as far as I know, I've invented this technique. I don't know of any other creator who's used this technique before. If you have seen it before, then I apologize. I'm not original, but as far as I know, this is my own creation. So if you do decide to use it on Instagram, if you tag me or mention me, I might comment, and I might even repost it on my story if it looks really cool. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into it. So we can see that our pattern has two colors. The pattern has blue and yellow. So I will be using blue. For the blue in the pattern, I'll be using this blue string. And then in place of the yellow, I'll be using white because that's what I make my custom bracelets with. So right now I'm going to take my white and my blue, and then I'm going to count and see how many of each string do I need. I can see that on the top, the blue I need 6 strings of, and the white I need 5 strings of. I'm going to be referring to the white here as the yellow because it's yellow in the pattern, so it'll just be easier, but you can differentiate them between the dark and the light. You're going to be doing some mental math here, and I recommend that you start with this method with this bracelet first, and then you work your way up to more complicated bracelets with more colors than this one. For the color with the odd number of threads, for me it's the light color, I can see I have 5 threads. So I'm going to be making a beginning loop for this one, which means that for the number of strings that you see, I'm going to be dividing that by 2 because you're going to be folding the strings in half. So for the blue string, we can see that we have 6 blue strings in the pattern. So that means I'm going to be measuring 3 blue strings because 3, when you fold that in half, that will be 6. We see in our pattern that we need 5 light strings, but you can't multiply something by 2 and get an odd number. So what are we going to do? I was lying. You can multiply a number by 2 and get an odd number. That number just has to be a half. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to cut 3 strands of the dark color and 3 strands of the white. That's right, you're going to be cutting 3 strands, not 2, not 4, 3. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to cut each of these strings 2 meters long, which means that folded in half, each one of them is a meter long, or 3 feet. Alright, so I'm done cutting my strings, and I also just cut one of the blue strings a little bit longer because I want to use that string for my beginning loop color. So now, this is the really important part. There are 2 main kinds of string that you can make friendship bracelets with. One is this kind. You can see it's a little bit shinier than the other one. Its strands are twisted, and you can't really easily separate the strings without getting into a big mess. So this is the first kind, and then the second kind is this. It's more of satiny than shiny, and the strands you can separate. This is really, really important because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be splitting one of our strings in half. For me, it's going to be my white string. What I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate one of my white strings. I'm going to separate the strands into 3 and 3. And then I'm going to separate my entire string all the way down the 2 meters. This might take a while. I recommend to be patient with it. You can hold one end with your left hand and twist, and with your right hand pry the 2 ends apart, but this is going to take a while, so be patient with it. Alright, so I did what I told you not to do, and I rushed it, and this is what I got. I had to pull out each string individually, so we're just going to throw that out. But right now, we have our 3-stranded bundle. If we fold it together, it's the thickness of one of them. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to add it to the rest of my bundle, which I have also folded in half. Alright, so now once we have everything in a loop, I'm going to take one of the strings from this side, and I'm going to move it to this side. And this way you'll have this sort of loop sticking out here, and that's kind of important because what you're going to want to do is you're going to thread your smaller loop. You're going to thread one of the ends through that loop. So it's like this. This is really, really important because you've effectively joined these two strings. So it's on one side, it's one string because it's the two half strings put together, and on this side, it's two full strings. So you put this back into your loop, separate that one other string. So now that this is the center of the loop, you can see that you can barely see this. So now I'm going to get all set up for my beginning loop. So I have my little tiny joint in the middle, and then I'm going to grab the longer string that I'm going to be using to make the beginning loop. So I can see that the longer side is poking out over here. And then I'm going to start with my beginning loop, and I'm not going to stop at the beginning loop until it covers this little nubbin happening over here. Because although it is slight, you won't be able to knot with a string that's not secured. So I'm going to make my beginning loop now, and I'm going to keep knotting until it covers the joint between these two strings. Alright, so I have covered the juncture between the two different strings, and I'm just going to knot a little bit more just so I can have a well-proportioned beginning loop. So I think this is probably long enough. All in all, this really does have 11 strings. So you can see, let's start with the right side. So on the right side, you can see we have one blue string, two blue strings, three blue strings, and then 1, 2, 3 white strings. So that is 6 strings in all on this side. Now on the left side, we have 1, 2, 3 blue strings. That's to be expected because we didn't divide any blue strings. And then we have 1, 2. This 2, the second string, is secretly 2 smaller strings, but from now on we're going to treat it as just 1 string. So now we can effectively say that we have 5 strings on this side and 6 strings on this side, which is an odd number of strings, which is what you hopefully clicked on this video to learn. So hopefully that helped you. If you want to see a tutorial on this bracelet, comment down below. If you want me to make a tutorial on another bracelet, also comment down. I want to make tutorials that I know you guys like. And before you comment down, please do a tutorial on the double Aztec bracelet. I am getting to it. I just have so many fun ideas for you guys that I don't want to forget. And I want to keep uploading, and I really can't upload more than once a week because I am a full-time senior in high school and it's college application season and everyone is super duper stressed. So I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to keep up with all my custom orders on Etsy as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this video and want to see more, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep the bracelets coming. Make sure you hit the bell that says all so you're notified for each one of my new videos. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. By contributing just a little bit each month, you can gain exclusive benefits like early access to my videos and bracelets shipped regularly to your front door. My Patreon is Alex's Innovations. The link is in the card and also in the description down below. If you're not already, follow me on Instagram at Alex Innovations. I do polls and surveys there that I later feature in my videos, so by checking out my profile, you can help me make better videos. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.